Hello and welcome to the latest Epic Universe construction update. Now, even since our last update just a few weeks ago, there is a lot of progress to check out, so I'm excited to see all the progress here in this highly anticipated new theme park. But before we jump into the update, for those that are somehow unaware, Epic Universe is a brand new theme park coming to Universal Studios Florida. Epic Universe is located just 2 miles south of Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. And this new park will include brand new lands themed to How to Train Your Dragon, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal Monsters, and my personal favorite, Super Nintendo World. So let's not waste any time as there's a lot of things to check out. So let's head over into the Dark Universe to check out our tour of the progress. Over at the entrance portal to the Dark Universe, we can see that more work is ongoing for some exterior theming work. We can also see the workers in this shot add some scale to this area. And here in this series of shots, we can see the current status of Darkmoor Village. Now, it doesn't seem like much has changed in this area since our last visit, at least in terms of what we can see from the outside. Over at the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster, there isn't much really to update about the ride itself, but continuous ride testing is still ongoing. And over at the Burning Blade Tavern, it seems that a forest has almost popped up overnight, as there are a lot more trees and landscaping in this area, which will be a common theme you will see all throughout this tour of Epic Universe. Also over at the queue of Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, which is the Dark Manor, we can see all the landscaping and trees that are up in this area. Now, one thing I love is just imagine all these trees growing over the years of just how much shade is going to be in this entire area, which is much appreciated when you are in that Florida sun. Speaking of the Dark Manor, we can see there is scaffolding that was recently raised as exterior work here is finishing up. And yet again, the common theme here in the Dark Universe and Epic Universe is, you guessed it, more trees. And in this view, we can see more trees in this area. Also in this view, the pavement circle that was just revealed. Now, it was covered in protective panels just after it was cast a few months ago, and honestly, it looks great. The detail in here and just the way it makes this whole area pop, I'm loving how this is looking. And the gateway and ramp are the entrance to the Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, which is the main ride in this land. We can see this small quick service building right next to the Dark Manor. Looks like its exterior work is complete, and again, there are a ton more trees in this area. Well, that's going to do it over here for the Dark Universe, so let's head over into the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic to check out the progress in this land. Over at the entrance portal to the Wizarding World, we can see the semicircle on top of the portal ring is patterned. We can also see the gardens at the portal, and the colorful concrete pavement in the entrance area is making some more progress. And here is a statue that was recently revealed in the land. We can also see the pavement is covered with protective sheets as construction continues in this area. And right next to that statue is the doorway at the right, which is believed to be for the Metro Flu that will take you from Paris directly to the British Ministry of Magic for the Battle at the Ministry ride. We can see some great views of various storefronts in the land that are wrapping up their exterior work. And now here is a great look at the awning frame for the sidewalk dining area of Café L'Art de la Serene. I don't know if I said that right, but this is the quick service dining area, which will have outdoor seating like you're eating in a sidewalk in Paris. In this view of one of the streets in the land, we can see lots of work still ongoing and the arrows at the alleys that will lead to a courtyard. Now, it's believed that this will lead into a courtyard that will have a restaurant in here. And in that courtyard, we can also see some recently revealed facades as the exterior work here looks to be finished in this area. And the finishings here look more grimy and aged than the rest of the land. And here we can see the hotel facade looks to be just about complete with its exterior work, and this will be the exit from the theater show. And the red tents that you can see here are the entrance for that theater. And the red tents here show the theater entrance yet again. And the show here is called, pardon me again if I get this wrong, Le Cirque Arcanus. And we can see even more trees that have been planted in the sidewalks in the streets of Paris. Well, that's all there is to see right now in the Wizarding World, so let's head over to Super Nintendo World to check out the progress over here. Starting off in the Mushroom Kingdom, we can see a lot of progress on Bowser's Castle as a frame is being placed for a sculpture of Bowser. Now, this is also the entrance for the Mario Kart attraction, and I'm definitely glad to see a lot more progress in this area since our last visit. And here we can see at the arrow, a Goomba is staged in an interactive area. Now the Goomba will walk on a roller and fall backwards. And here's the current status of Peach's Castle, as it's not as far along as Bowser's Fortress currently, but it is making slight progress update after update. And this is a great view at the multiple levels of Super Nintendo World, and the cylinder in the center will be Toadstool Cafe, which undoubtedly will be one of the most popular areas of Super Nintendo World. And here is the obligatory view of the theming of Mount Beanpole that is coming along very nicely. We can also see Yoshi's Adventure in here as well. And there's yet another sign installed in the land that we can see at the arrow here. And there's some more progress on an outdoor scene of Yoshi's Adventure that we can see. And here's a great view of the portal between the Mushroom Kingdom and the Donkey Kong Country area of Super Nintendo World. And jumping over to Donkey Kong Country, we can see the airplane, which is Funky's Fly-In Buy shop, is coming along nicely. And over at the splashdown section of Minecart Madness, we can see this area looks all but done with its exterior work, as landscaping is currently underway here as well, with, yet again, a lot more trees. And here's a great shot at a screaming pillar on Minecart Madness. And looking at the land in a wider view, we can see a great sign as landscaping has really started to pick up around here. Now, it's rumored that Super Nintendo World may be the land that is behind, so hopefully they're putting some more manpower in here and we see some more progress here in the coming updates. We saw in the last update where canopies for the cube were going up, and it looks as if those have been installed over for Minecart Madness. And here are some great views at some up-close theming in and around Minecart Madness. And on the waterfall that will be part of Minecart Madness, here is the progress on the character face that will be a major point of interest in the ride in the land itself. And here we can see in the concept art what this finished product will look like. Well, that's about it for Super Nintendo World. So let's head over into the Isle of Berk to check out the progress in the How to Train Your Dragon land. Here's the current status of the work on the entrance portal to the land. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot of noticeable progress since our last update, but this area is likely wrapping up its exterior theming very soon. The bay's theming is looking great, as we can see the dragon houses nearby and a pair of Viking ships look to be done as well. And a common theme, yet again, more trees have been placed in this land. And here's a current work on the target installation that is part of Fire Drill Boat Ride, which will be a family boat ride in the land, where you were going to go on the boat and shoot water cannons at various targets, and people will also be able to shoot water at you from outside the ride as well. And here's a great look at the bridge where the fire drill queue passes underneath, and at the left under the bridge is a service passage for the boats. Now, the queue for fire drill will be shaded by canopies and trees, and the canopies will likely be installed by our next update if I were to guess, as it looks like all of the framing is done for the canopies. And here in the staging area, we can see all of the boats for Fire Drill that are currently being stored. It looks like the loading and unloading station here at Fire Drill has a lot of work to do on the roof still, and looking at a wider shot of Fire Drill, this definitely will be a kinetic and busy area of the land. Here is current work at what will be an outdoor dining area near Spitfire Grill, and the two short stone sculptures were recently added, as well as some more trees. And it looks like in the village section, some utilities are currently being installed underground. Now, the dragon houses in the land here look complete and really pop with color compared to the other parts of the land right now, as most of it is still currently under construction and lots of dirt in the area. We can also see Gothy's hut on top of the mountain as well. And here's the theming progress at the entrance of Hiccup's Wing Gliders and the ride exit gift shop area as well. The two Viking statues at the entrance of Mead Hall look like they are about in the same state as they were in our last update. And over in the queue for Hiccup's Wing Gliders, there are some trees that have been added near the canopy frames that we can see. And over at the first launch of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we can see the building here looks done, but the exterior work on the roof is still left to be completed. Now, in the last update, we got a shot of Toothless in the first launch here, but he's back to being hiding under a red blanket for now. And over at Dragon Racers Rally, we can see the canopy construction in the queue area is coming along and will likely be completed very soon. And here's a great view of the dragon houses in the grandstands of Dragon Racers Rally, and the Grog and Gruel snack stand is making progress here as well. Now, over at the second launch of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we can see the current status of the Viking Training Camp Kids Play area. Now, I'm very excited to see what this area will entail and look like once completed, as it's likely our kids and most other kids will love this area. Well, that'll about do it over here at the Isle of Berk, so let's head over into Celestial Park to check out the progress in this area. Over at Stardust Racers, there's been landscaping added to the entrance here, and at the arrow is where the attraction signage will be. Now, on the entrance portal to the ride, there are two common elements in progress on the sides. Now, we were able to get a closer look at these elements in the Ride Guys video that Universal put out last week. And more is ongoing on the main common element of the ride, and we can see more trees and landscaping yet again, since our last visit here. And the extended queue of Stardust Racers now has pavement and landscaping added and looks just about to be complete. The Meteor Astropub is coming along as exterior work has been prepared for masonry, and you can see brick installation currently on the right side of this photo that has been started and underway. And the Oak and Star Tavern is now surrounded by a forest that seemingly sprung up overnight. And Constellation Carousel still looks gorgeous as ever, but not much can be seen on the outside as far as progress, but installation of the carousel elements is ongoing inside the building now. The colorful concrete pattern outside of Constellation Carousel looks to be complete and looks great. Now, something that is interesting is there are evenly spaced holes that can be seen, so I'm wondering if this is going to be for lighting patterns perhaps at night, as that would add a really cool element to this ride and area at night. It looks like the berm that was being built in our last update here by Constellation Carousel is getting its green layer installed and is starting to come along nicely. We can also see more colorful patterns at the Astronomica splash pad that is near Constellation Carousel. And yet again, there are more trees present in Celestial Park, as we've seen throughout this update all over Epic Universe. The recently started construction of a pair of restaurants in Celestial Park is coming along rather quickly. Now, it's believed that these restaurants may be part of a Phase 2 addition to Epic Universe, and they may open after the grand opening of the park. And Luna Overlook is really coming along as of late, and this area will provide a great view across the full length of the park. And at the base of the Helios Grand Hotel, we can get a look at the recently placed statue of Helios himself that has shown up. As this area is going to have a Greek mythological feel to it, so we're probably going to see a lot more of these statues, which personally, I like the idea of this entire land and this idea of these mythical gods and nature elements that will come to this park. Here's the current status of the cascading water features near the Atlantic restaurant, and it seems yet again there is more landscaping that has been added in this area. And here's the status of some of the construction of shops that will be near the entrance to Epic Universe, as when guests walk into the park, you can shop right away. And looking over at Helios Grand Hotel itself, here are some current looks at the Helios Grand Hotel. And Universal recently released more information about this flagship in-park hotel. Now, you can check out more details of the hotel in a video that I will link above, as we did a video outlining all of the details that we know currently from Universal about this hotel. From Universal and some rumored elements of what could be part of this hotel as well. And here's the current status of the pool and recreation area of Helios, and it doesn't look like there's been much progress since our last update over here. Hopping over to the entrance area of Epic Universe, there really isn't a whole lot here to check out since our last update, but here are some views of the Kronos, and the land icons can clearly be seen inside the Kronos now as well. And the entrance portal itself to Epic Universe is coming along and looks like it's close to being completed. And the entrance plaza has more pavement installed and looks like more landscaping is here as well. Now, before we go, yet again, we're going to check on the roads, because the roads being completed in and around Epic Universe are going to be a major aspect as to when this park is going to be able to open. Now, here we can see the redo of Sand Lake Road and Kirkman Road, and the former Sand Lake overpass has been demolished completely, and the roadbed there leads to Epic Universe. And concrete routes seen in the center of Kirkman at the bottom center will be used exclusively for Universal buses. Well, that's going to do it for this Epic Universe construction update. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel before you go. As always, we will be doing more Epic Universe news updates, land previews, and construction updates as work on this new park continues. And also here at Capture the Magic, we have informational videos to help you have the best time when heading to Universal Studios and or Disney World. And if you want even more Universal Studios and Disney World information, you can check out the Capture the Magic podcast, where we share tips, reviews, money-saving strategies, and more. You can find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and also here on YouTube over at CTM Podcast. And let us know in the comments, the rumors are that a land is behind in terms of the current progress of Epic Universe as a whole. What land do you think might be behind in progress? I kind of think it could be Super Nintendo World, as certain elements of that seem to be further behind than other ones, but I'm curious what you think. And until next time, we will see you in the parks.